Hello, Rod here. I have a little message for you today about our return to live worship at St. Giles Presbyterian Church, and we hope that you will consider it seriously. We believe, and I should let me preface that by saying I'm talking to you on a Wednesday morning following a Tuesday evening session meeting. That's last night on September the 14th. This is the 15th. And we discussed this very thoroughly. And I decided to make a video to let you know what the protocols are, what you can expect should you decide to come to worship this Sunday at St. Giles. So let me see, what's first? Of course, masking will be required. This is indoor worship. It's in a public space. In fact, the government had excluded churches from this requirement. However, the session believe that they want to be very prudent in this matter and want to continue with compulsory mask wearing for people attending the worship services. Also, that requirement of this lack of requirement for churches could also change very quickly because things are, as you know, difficult. But why do we believe that you will be safe? First off, a lot has to do with our demographic. The people who are now getting COVID tend to be people in their 20s to 30s and who are unvaccinated. Other older people who may be getting it, also getting this Delta variant, are also almost 100% unvaccinated. And I know that absolutely the very most of you are all vaccinated. So I think you will be, from that regard, quite safe. So what will happen is should you come to worship on Sunday, this Sunday at 10 a.m., first off, come in one of the glass doors into the narthex, please. Don't use the small back door downstairs because that takes you in a narrow hallway and there's just no reception for you there. But if you come in from either the parking lot or the street, perfectly fine either way, you will be greeted there with someone who will be wearing a mask, who will, if you are unmasked, provide you with a mask so that you can put it on. Your temperature will be taken. And should anyone happen to have elevated temperature, it will be suggested to you that you return home, stay well, look after yourself, and come back when your health is better. I suspect request won't have to be made, but it's there as part of protection for you. The other next thing is you will be asked to sign in. So we have a record of that you were there in case there is some outbreak of some kind down the line. And you can be informed about it. Then following that, we'll ask you to sanitize your hands. And then an usher will take you and seat you in the sanctuary. You will have a choice, very likely, of seats because there won't be a big crowd. It won't be a full house by anyone's imagination. But you will be seated. There will be roping back on the pews so that every other pew will be left vacant, so there's good spacing. You can sit, of course, with family members or your best friend or however you wish to do in that sense, but groups must separate from one from the other. So there'll be good seating, good spacing, and that will also lead to your safety and keep you safe. The choir will be there in force, I believe, on Sunday. While they sing, they likely will take their masks off, at least some of them. and but they're well distanced from everyone else, and they trust each other to not be contagious. So that's the deal. And upon leaving the sanctuary, you will be ushered out, starting from the back, and people will go row by row so that there's no jam-ups, and no one is, you're not being passed by people in any numbers. If coffee is served, and I don't know if it will be, it could be. If coffee is served, if it's a nice, warm Sunday, it may be that it'll be served in the narthex, so you can take a paper cup outside and greet and meet your friends out there, and you could take your mask off to drink your coffee. And since you're out of doors, you, again, can be quite safe, understanding that likely everybody that you'll greet there and meet there will be non-contagious. So that's what we're offering. If we have to go downstairs because of weather, coldness or wet or whatever, that's fine. You can go downstairs again. Try to keep social distance and use your mask just for casual conversation. But if you're drinking your coffee, of course, you can take your mask off, and so on. So. That's what we're suggesting. We are absolutely committed to keeping everyone safe. I will add something else. Of course, this will be the first joint service with what we call the EM, the English Ministry at Calgary Korean Presbyterian Church. Now, they have been shut down for, like us, for a year and a half or so from live worship up until just recently. I think beginning probably when those restrictions were last removed, the ones that have been apologized for now by Dr. Inshaw, and their attendance has been small, not their usual attendance of 35 or so, or 25 to 35, but now it seems to be about 10, and that may be all that come this Sunday, although someone named Marvin Sung, I'll introduce him to you a little bit right now. Marvin is the person who looks after the worship for the English language congregation, the EM. He is a Calgary boy. He's no longer a boy, he's a man. He's probably in his mid-40s, maybe pushing 50, I don't know. Grew up in Cambridge Heights area, went to Fowler High School, has training in theology in the United States and in Calgary at Ambrose, is not ordained, but he is quite competent to lead in worship. I am still responsible for worship at St. Giles. And but this person has been offered to us and by Calgary Korean, and we will make use of him. He, interestingly, he is not Korean. In fact, he is Chinese, and he doesn't speak Korean. But he works in English with the EM. So he will not be here on this coming Sunday because he's not available, but he will be the preacher on the next Sunday, the last Sunday of September, the 28th, and likely will do the whole service. And then following that, communion is the first Sunday, Worldwide Communion Sunday, first Sunday of October as always. I will be conducting the communion service as the ordained minister. I think Marvin would like to preach that day, so he likely will. He'll just do the sermon. But anyway, that's the plan at the moment. Following that is Thanksgiving. We haven't got far enough to really determine who that'll be, but it may well be Marvin, and we'll move on from there. So hope that you can feel comfortable knowing that we're making every effort that whoever attends will be safe at St. Giles. And we look forward to seeing you. I'm sure you're looking forward, many of you, to seeing one another. But still, I know the hesitancy. I understand it. We respect it. It's up to you to make your own decision. But what we're committing to is a safe experience for you at St. Giles Presbyterian Church. So I hope to see you. Thanks for listening.